Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. On today's video we'll be making these beautiful sleeves. It's two different type of sleeves, so I'll be showing you two different sleeve patterns. To our subscribers, I want to say thank you, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Let's go straight to the tutorial. The first sleeve we'll be making is the one with slash and spread, while the other one will be the last sleeve we'll be making. So I have two sleeve pattern. I'm going to keep one aside for the first sleeve, then use the other one that I kept for the second sleeve. So the first thing you're going to do after you've gotten your pattern is fold it into two. Okay, so cut on fold. You are going to take your measurement. If your sleeve length is 25, you add 5 inches extra. If it's 23, you add 5 inches. If it's 21, you have the length of your sleeve, add 5 inches. So I added 5 inches to mine, and I'm going to now go to the point that I added the 5 inches and mark. After marking it, you take your straight ruler and draw a straight line across. That line is going to be for the part we'll be slashing for the wrist area. Okay, so when you are done with that part, what you are going to do is you find the midpoint of that part, and after finding the midpoint, you mark it. You mark that midpoint that you've gotten. When you are done marking it, you take your straight ruler and connect it down to the hem line. I'm done with it, so I'm just going to write slash and spread on the pattern paper. That midpoint that you've got, you are going to take your scissors and you are going to open it up. And the opening, you open it to the side and to the both sides. So when you get to the both sides, don't cut it out. Just open it, be very careful, don't cut it out. Open it to both sides, but don't cut it out. Just watch what I'm doing. After I've opened it up, this is what I have. So this is what you are going to have for the sleeve slash and spread area. Okay, that bottom part. So place it on your fabric, and for this we'll be cutting it open. Okay, so after when you are cutting it now, you are going to open it up and you will stitch everything together. So you open it up and slash it on your fabric, and when doing the slashing on the fabric, when you've placed the pattern paper, okay, you are going to just use your chalk to give it a bit of curve, that flake curve pattern, and you cut it out. So I'll be pinning every part together and I'll be cutting it out. While cutting, don't cut contour fold, except you want to have these gathers at the sleeve area. But I'm not cutting it cut on fold, I'm cutting it open and I'll be joining it. So it's going to have two joining for the sleeve. After cutting it, you are going to stitch it up. Okay, stitch this side together and stitch the other side together. I'm done stitching it. I'm done with this sleeve. Okay, I'm just going to explain it. I've stitched it and I've ironed it. For the bottom part, that hem area, you are going to use hemming gum for yours, then attach it to your sleeve. Okay, so use hemming gum and attach it to your sleeve. So this is the first sleeve pattern and we are good to go. So let's go over to the second sleeve pattern. So this is the pattern paper for the second sleeve pattern, and these are the fabrics that I'll be using for mine. This is the Ankara fabric for the upper part, the first sleeve, and the lace for the inner sleeve. So this sleeve is like three-way sleeve. You have the fillet at the wrist area, you have the inner sleeve and the other sleeve. So you just go ahead and cut out the short sleeve that you need, the length that you want, and I've gone ahead and cut mine. So cut yours, use the sleeve, the length you want your sleeve to be. Then when you are done, cut the lining piece. So this sleeve has a lining piece for it, for the turning. So you cut your lining piece, and when you are done cutting the lining piece, you go ahead and use that sleeve pattern that you have to cut out your lace. So for the lace, the same thing. When you get to your wrist area, you add 5 inches or 6 inches. So mine, I added 6 inches for it. So I'm just going to cut this part first, the short sleeve, then we'll go ahead and cut the other part. I'm done cutting the short sleeve, so I'm going to minus a bit from the lining piece, so that when I turn it, I'll be able to see what I have. I'll be able to turn it and it will be neat. You have the fabric on the inner area. So we'll go ahead and cut the lace. So take your sleeve pattern and place it on your lace fabric. Because it's lace, it was very tricky to work with, but at the end I was able to achieve my goal. So place it on your fabric and cut it out. Be very careful. Lace is very tricky while cutting it. So place it and cut out the first piece before we cut out the flare. This is it after cutting. Just make sure you got the right measurement. I'll just remove half an inch or 1 inch from my own. I found out that it was too long, so I'm going to cut it out. After cutting the inner sleeve, we are going to work for the bottom part of the inner sleeve. So I took my pattern paper. If it's on your fabric, you fold your fabric into 4. But since it's pattern paper, I'm just going to imagine that I fold it into 4 and divide it by 6.25. So whatever you have, if it's 8 inches, you divide it by 6.25. My wrist is 8 inches and I'm using 6.25 to divide, and it's going to give me 1.8 or 2 inches. So from there, you come downward and you mark. So if you want the length to be 6, if you want it to be 5, it depends on how you want it to be on your hand. Okay, so you are just going to mark it round. Normal process of cutting your flare skirt. So you mark it round, be very careful, and we are going to use this pattern to cut our fabric when I'm done. After marking it, I went ahead and cut it out. So I cut the bottom part first before cutting out the upper part. When you are done with the pattern, the flare pattern, you are going to use it to cut out your sleeve, okay, the bottom part. So place it on your fabric and trace it out. So you place it, pin it very well and trace it out. So you fold your fabric into 4 and cut it out. Remember, we have 2 sleeves, guys, so you are cutting out 2 sleeves, 2 flare and 2 short sleeve. This is it. I'm done cutting it out. So what I'm going to do is stitch the side of the lace together. For the short sleeve, I use collar gum for it. I use my collar gum for the short sleeve. So I went ahead and iron collar gum to it, and this is how it is. So we are going to attach the lining piece to the short sleeve. So I brought out my pin and I'm going to pin it up. You are going to stitch it. You know the process of stitching your skirt, how you just add the lining is shorter, then you pin and you stitch it and join the sides together. You stitch the bottom and join the 2 sides. So that is what we are doing for the sleeve. You stitch the bottom and join the 2 sides of both sleeves. I'm done stitching it and this is how it looks. So the next thing you are going to do is you fold it together and stitch the sides and do the same thing, or you can attach it to your dress if you want to, but I had to stitch the side. So this is the sleeve, the inner part of the sleeve, the flare area. So this part, after stitching it the side, I went ahead and attached the bottom part to it. So I'll be showing you how to attach the bottom part to yours. You are going to take the sleeve and you are going to take your pin and pin it very well. You know it's flare. If you cut it with 180 degrees, it's not going to be full flare. If it's not full flare, it won't be this much. If you just want it to be small, your fabric into 2 and cut. But because I want it to be too much, that was why it was plenty. You see it has that full effect. So you pin it up and you stitch it round. I'm done pinning it. What I'm going to do now is I'll stitch it round and stitch the sides of the short sleeve together. This is the dress I'm attaching the sleeve to. There will be no video tutorial on how to achieve the dress, but I already have that on my channel, so I'm going to put the link on the description below. This is the sleeve and it's looking beautiful. So you are going to attach it now to your dress. You can do the other method of attaching your sleeve, that is attaching your sleeve together with the dress together at the same time while stitching the side. So you stitch the sleeve and the sides together, but mine is lengthy, so I just want to explain it step by step. What you do is you pin it up this way and you stitch the first one, that is the short sleeve. You can as well stitch the short sleeve and the lace sleeve together before attaching it to your dress. So it's both ways, you do it both ways. So pin it up and stitch it round. Then I'm going to show you how it looks after stitching. After stitching, this is how it looks. This is just your normal sleeve, but remember we are adding details to the sleeve, so we'll be attaching the other sleeve to it. So you are going to put it in between. You are going to stitch it under the first sleeve that you have. Please be very careful. If you stitch it up on top of it, it's not going to come out very fine. It's going to come out wrong, but you stitch it underneath the first sleeve, so it's going to be pinned under the short sleeve. After pinning it up, you stitch it round and you've gotten your beautiful structured trendy sleeve. So I'm going to do that and show you how it looks. This is it after stitching. This is the sleeve. Can you see it? You see how it's standing, and this is basically your sleeve. So you see the inside and everything. So I'm done with the sleeve, and that's the end of today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. To our subscribers, thank you. Please guys, if you haven't subscribed, support us by subscribing to our channel. Bye guys.